Thank you very much, Daniel and Kelly, for the invitation. I'm happy to be here. So today, in these 10 minutes, I will briefly talk about how we at the Ludwig Boltzmann Gesellschaft in Vienna support the involvement of civil society stakeholders in transdisciplinary research in order to bring new perspectives into research and to increase the efficiency and social impact of research. I will not go much into details into the why, because this was very well explained also in the first two presentations, and we all share the same principles in this community. We bring these new perspectives into research not only by involving civil society stakeholders and experts all the way along the project. So we're talking here about, in the words of the first presentation, co-design and co-creation, or in the words of the second presentation, more in the direction of extreme citizen science. But we also have sometimes civil society in the lead of project or other actors that are normally not in the lead of projects, such as young scientists in the lead. And in this way, we can foster a high diversity of projects, expertises, and perspectives. Additionally, we also strive to embed these practices in the Austrian research environment by building strategic partnerships with other organizations in which we support them to build these expertises within their organizations, and we fund projects within their organizations in order to guarantee the sustainability of these practices in the Austrian research environment. So here I just give a couple of examples of the projects we support. Some of our projects are patient and public involvement projects in which patients or their relatives or other experts with living knowledge in the field are directly involved in the project at the eye level as co-researchers. In our Action for Sustainable Future Hub, we have projects at the intersection between art and science. And this is one of these strategic partnerships that we have in this case with the University of Applied Arts. So here we have projects at the intersection between art and sustainability, so art and science around the topics of sustainability. And this is a particularly interesting case, I find, because it's exactly one of those cases in which we managed to have actually, in many cases, civil society in the lead of the project. So it was civil society experts and actors who are involving the researchers in their projects and not the other way around. Additionally, we have another example, caring communities projects, in which we are, also in this case, we have civil society organizations, such as non-profit organizations who have the expertise on the ground on topics around caring communities, either involved in the project the whole way or leading the projects. We have, so how do we do that? How do we reach this diversity of perspectives and projects and of stakeholders? We follow our funding, facilitate and follow principles. So we support the projects all the way around from the application until the end. So even before the application itself, we support the projects, people interested in submitting an application by offering them personalized consultation on how to adapt their project to the call. We offer writing workshops and webinars. We also work sometimes with idea sketches. So we had applications in which the applicants could follow a two-steps project in which they could present like a very brief one-page project idea unstructured. And then based on that, they could get a personal consultation on how to develop their project further. And they also didn't have in the first phases of the application to have already their partners. We were supporting them also in matchmaking with the partners they needed for their project. And then we had writing workshops, such as the one you see in the picture, in which together with the new partners, they were developing, supported by us, their project application. So this allows us to encourage also people who don't have a lot of experience in writing project proposals, but have new, innovative and different ideas, different perspectives to access this support. In order to guarantee this diversity of our projects, we also follow the same transdisciplinarity principles in the evaluation. So we have civil society stakeholders that are relevant for the specific projects, also in the evaluation panels. For instance, in these projects around art and science for sustainability, we have not only researchers from the different disciplines around sustainability and art, but also civil society experts such as activists, for instance, or associations in the evaluation panel. In the patient and public involvement and engagement projects, we have not only the researchers, but patients themselves in the evaluation panel and public health experts. And in the caring community projects, for instance, we had not only the researchers from various disciplines, but also public administration experts and non-profit organizations who are applying caring communities concepts on the ground in praxis, so praxis experts. Once the projects have been selected, we support them all the way through, for instance, personal consultation. So they can get personal consultation from us in, for instance, priority setting. So how to identify and prioritize research questions together with civil society stakeholders. They can be supported on methodologies on how to do this co-creative direct involvement at the eye level of patients or living knowledge experts in their projects. They can get support on ethical questions around participatory research or on how to foster societal impact of their projects. In particular, around societal impact, we have a complete impact planning for our projects. So we support them from the very beginning in order to create an impact plan, so to reflect on the societal impact that they want to reach with their project, and to reflect together with them how they can fill the gaps between their project and the societal impact that they want to achieve. And along the way, we have also we follow them along the way in order for them to do together with them like monitoring and qualitative evaluation of the impact of the project along the way through also tools that we develop. We have capability building for our community, open for everyone, but also specific capability building embedded in the funding schemes. So purposely developed for the projects of the different funding schemes and offered along the way of the project at the right moment when they might need that. Some of that is mandatory, some is facultative. And we have different kind of capability building depending on the project, but for instance, again, around ethics, around societal impact, or for instance, about methods in transdisciplinary research, or about strategies of cooperation in transdisciplinary teams. Other ways in which we facilitate our projects are, for instance, by offering them a peer network in which they can have peer learning between each other. We also have, in some cases, an implementation manager, which is a person that is specifically assigned to each project to follow them and to cater to their need and guide them through this toward the specific experts, depending on their needs. And we develop in-house resources that are also open to everyone. For instance, a guide for researchers, how to embed patient and public involvement and engagement in their projects. Or for instance, these impact tools that are used to support the projects along the way with really concrete impact tools, such as reflection tools or interviews tools, guidelines, etc. So they can use those to monitor how are they following their impact aims, societal impact aims along their project. This, at the end, I wanted to present very briefly another way in which one can also support participatory transdisciplinary research out of the box, so a bit outside of the traditional way of using funding schemes. This is something we did in the past. So in 2015, the Ludwig Boltzmann Gesellschaft launched a big crowdsourcing campaign in which we asked several thousands of people what do they think that are the most pressing problems in the field of mental health. And there was a preference for around the topics of mental health of children and adolescents. So all these preferences and research questions and problems were clustered, voted, analyzed, and so on. And based on those, we facilitated some ideas labs. So some workshops in which we brought together different researchers from different disciplines around these problems to create an interdisciplinary group together also with experts on the ground and people affected and other stakeholders in order to discuss together how to form a new research plan around the most pressing questions that were found among these. And so they created new transdisciplinary research groups, which were then funded for 4 years to carry on this transdisciplinary research with the direct involvement of stakeholders. So this is just another way that I wanted to show outside of our funding schemes in which this type of research could be supported. So I'm finished here. I hope I was in the time. And if you want to know more about our support and follow and funding scheme and our offers, you can find them here on our website, and you can follow us on Twitter. Thank you very much. I give the floor to the next speaker, and I'm looking forward to the discussion afterwards.